The story begins in 1950, where some cars were being made inside a car factory, but one of them was a red car, which was very special. While he was checking the engine, the hood of the car closed so fast that the mechanic crushed his hand badly. He was taken to the doctor as soon as possible. After that, another mechanic came to check the car. While he was inside the car, his cigar ash fell on the seat. He left the cigar ash on the seat. He ignored his mistake and started working on the car happily, but he did not know that his small mistake would have a very bad result. Then, many hours passed and the factory work was over. All the workers were returning to their homes. While going, the supervisor saw that the lights of the red car were still on. He went to the red car. As soon as he opened the car, the body of the cigar mechanic fell out from inside. 28 years had passed since this incident, and we are shown the year 1978, where we see a student named Dennis who reaches the house of another boy named Arnie in his car. Arnie was a very simple, studious boy. Dennis and Arnie were very different from each other, but they soon became very good friends. It was their first day of school. They reached school and took out new books from their lockers. Just then, a new student, Lee, arrives and attracts all the students with her beauty. Dennis falls in love with Lee as soon as he sees her. When Dennis and Arnie were returning home, Arnie suddenly saw a red car outside a house. When Arnie saw the car, he asked Dennis to stop immediately. When they got closer to see, it was an old, rusty car, but Arnie liked it very much. It was the same factory car that we saw at the beginning of the story, and now it was in a very bad condition. But Arnie didn't care about that, and he instantly fell in love with the car. The car's owner, George, came there and told him that the car's name was Christine, and it belonged to his brother who had died a few weeks ago. George wanted to get rid of the car as soon as possible, so he agreed to sell it for just $250, and that's when he saw it. Dennis asked Arnie, "Why are you?" His parents asked him about buying the car, on which Arnie's mother got very angry. She scolded Arnie and said that he should quickly return the car to its owner. But Arnie did not listen to them because he had bought the car with his own savings. But Arnie's mother was very strict. His mother started saying that this car will not stay in this house, after which Arnie, along with Dennis, took the car to a garage. There, they met the garage owner, who was a very rude person. He was not allowing to park the car in the garage. But Arnie requested him again and again in a very polite manner that please park this car in the garage, after which the garage owner agreed and allowed Arnie to park his car there. On the way, Dennis asked Arnie why he bought a cheap and worn-out car like Christine, to which Arnie replied that he did not choose the car chose him. The next day at school, Dennis greets Arnie during lunch. He was waiting for him. When Arnie did not come for a long time, he went out to look for him. Then he saw that a bully named Buddy was harassing Arnie and taking his lunchbox and threatening him with a knife. Dennis tried to intervene. Then Buddy threw the lunch on the ground and threw Arnie on it. This caused poor Arnie's glasses to fall, and Buddy crushed them under her feet and broke them. After that, Buddy started laughing at Arnie's condition. But then Dennis saw an opportunity and attacked Buddy. At that very moment, Buddy's gang surrounded Dennis. Just then, a teacher came there and stopped the fight. Arnie told the teacher that Buddy had threatened him with a knife, but Buddy was not ready to accept this. Then the teacher asked him to empty his pockets, and Buddy emptied his pockets, and while emptying his pockets, the same knife came out of his pocket. Finally, the teacher sent Buddy and his gang to the office, after which Buddy was expelled from the school. In this way, many weeks passed, and Arnie was working hard day and night to repair the car. At that moment, the garage owner comes, and seeing Arnie's repairing work, he hires him to work with him. He tells Arnie that in return for the job, he can collect parts for his car. Arnie, because they had not met for a long time, but he saw that Arnie had changed a lot. He looked like a hero, wearing stylish clothes without glasses. He did not stay for long to talk to Dennis and went to work in the garage. His mother tried to stop him, but Arnie ignored them and left. Arnie's mother told Dennis that she was very upset about Arnie and his new car because she had found out that the car's previous owner had suffocated to death inside the car. Hearing this, Dennis went to meet George, and George told him the story of his brother. He told him that when his brother bought Christine, he had become completely obsessed with her. His wife and daughter had also died in the same car, and then after his brother's death, this car somehow came and stood outside George's house by itself. Hearing this, Dennis became even more nervous, and then he decided to go to the garage to check the car, and after that, Dennis secretly reaches the garage. He tried to open the car, but as soon as he pulled the handle, the radio started by itself, and Dennis immediately ran away so that no one could see him. The next morning, Dennis goes to play football in the school stadium. Dennis was thinking about scoring a special goal when suddenly he saw Arnie coming there, and his car Christine was ready and shining, which made Buddy and his friends jealous. Lee also came out of the car and kissed Arnie in front of everyone. Dennis did not like this at all because he loved Lee very much. Dennis got angry and his focus shifted from the game. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the player of the other team pushed him and made him fall. Dennis fell on the ground with such force that he immediately became unconscious and was deeply hurt. Many days after this incident, Dennis opened his eyes and saw that he was in a hospital. His leg and neck were plastered. Arnie also came to meet him. Then Dennis realized that his friend was changing very fast. 1 month ago, he was a timid and shy boy who could not even talk to anyone openly. Anyway, Arnie soon said goodbye to him and left. Then in the evening, he went to a movie theater with Lee, and later they started kissing each other in the car. But when
suddenly
it starts raining again, due to which he somehow persuades Lee and makes him sit back in the car. But then the windshield gets damaged. Arnie goes out to fix it. Lee sits alone inside the car and starts eating something when suddenly the radio of the car starts turning on by itself. At the same time, a very bright light came from the dashboard and Lee felt that she was suffocating. She was not able to breathe. So Arnie immediately ran to help her, but the car was locked from inside. On the other hand, Lee was about to die of suffocation when, at the right time, she managed to open the door from inside and a man standing nearby pulled her out somehow. Seeing this, Arnie got angry at the man. Arnie thought that the man was trying to tease Lee, but the man was just taking out the food stuck in Lee's throat. After all this, Arnie dropped Lee back home. Lee entered the house as soon as she got out of the car and said that she did not want to talk to Arnie. Arnie tried to apologize to her, but it was confirmed in Lee's mind that this car had tried to kill her, and she also felt that Christine was jealous of her because whenever they were together in a car, something went wrong once. Hearing all this, Arnie thought that it was just Lee's imagination, so he said that they would talk tomorrow. Then Arnie sat back in the car, but the car was not starting, as if Christine was angry. Then he told Christine that whatever happened to Lee today did not matter because he would always love only Christine. After that, he turned the key and the car started straight away. Now he went straight to the garage and left Christine there and went back home. But then Batty and his friends entered the garage from behind. They all had different kinds of weapons and in no time they destroyed the entire car. The next day, Arnie somehow convinced Lee and then both of them came to the garage so that Arnie could take out his wallet from the car. But as soon as Arnie looked at Christine, he saw Christine in a state of disarray. Arnie felt very bad seeing this. Arnie thought that Lee had done all this. Shocked, Lee asked who did this, but Arnie suddenly yelled at her and asked her to go away. Later, Arnie told this and they pacified him and said they would buy him a new car. This made Arnie even more angry because he knew that just like Lee, his parents also hated Christine. And he blamed his parents for Christine's condition because if they had allowed him to keep the car at home, she would be safe today. Then he started to go to his room by abusing them even more. His father held him back and asked him to apologize to his mother. But Arnie kept abusing even more. So his father raised his hand on him. Arnie retaliated by grabbing his father by the throat and was about to kill him when he let him go. After that, he quietly came out of the house and went straight to Christine and decided to fix her by putting the pieces together once again. But what he saw now made the ground slip away from under his feet. He saw that the car was getting fixed by magic, by itself. Arnie was delighted and asked the car what else it could do. And then Christine automatically repairs herself completely with no effort. In the next scene, we see a boy named Moochie and Bardi's partner at night. He was robbing a truck by stopping it in the middle of the road. Suddenly, he heard the sound of a car engine from a distance. He went closer and saw that it was Christine, who had stood in front of him, looking brand new. He understood that Arnie had found out that he and Buddy had killed Christine. Now he started apologizing to Arnie. But suddenly, the car's headlights came on, and it started moving fast towards Moochie. Moochie immediately ran for his life and hid in an alley along the road. He thought that now the car would stop chasing him. But soon Christine started chasing him again. Now Moochie ran away and entered an old warehouse, but Christine did not stop chasing him. Finally, Moochie was trapped in a place from where there was no way to escape. Christine surrounded him. Moochie pulled out his knife and threatened Arnie, but Christine forced her way in and brutally brutalized Moochie. Then the next morning, Arnie went to meet Dennis and told him about Moochie's death. Dennis was very surprised to hear this. He also could not understand that, if Christine was Lee refused to come, which made him even more angry. On the other hand, Buddy and his friends buy alcohol from the store and get in the car and leave. On the way, another car starts following them. Buddy stops the car to see who is in the car, but he can't see anything because of the headlights. Then he reversed his car, and the other car started to reverse in the same way. And then Buddy realized that the car was none other than Christine. Now Buddy got angry and drove the car and stopped straight at a gas station where his friend Rich worked. Buddy got out of the car and picked up an iron rod and got ready to teach a lesson to the man who was chasing him. But then Christine came at a very high speed and rammed straight into Buddy's car, causing a lot of damage to his car. Buddy thought that Arnie was still inside the car, so he asked Arnie to get out. But Christine once again hit Buddy's car with great speed and drove it straight into the workshop. Don was sitting in the car, so Christine crushed him too with Buddy's car. At the same time, petrol started leaking from Buddy's car and suddenly it caught fire. Within a few moments, there was a huge explosion in the entire garage, and Richie also died in the same fire. Seeing this, Buddy started running to save his life. But how was Christine going to let Buddy go so easily? Christine also started chasing him. Eventually, she crushed Buddy too, and he burned to ashes. A few hours later, the garage owner heard the sound of a car coming. He saw that Christine was covered in smoke. He was very surprised because Arnie had gone to fix some other car. Now he took his gun and went to see who was sitting inside Christine. He tried to open the door, but it was very hot, and so he opened the door with the help of a cloth. When he looked inside, he found out that there was no one inside the car. He became confused as to who was driving this car. He could not understand anything and he sat in the car himself, but this was the biggest mistake of his life. And now he will have to pay for this mistake, because Christine was not going to leave any witness alive today. Suddenly, the car door closed automatically from inside, and then Christine pushed the seat towards the dashboard and killed the garage owner. Then, the next morning, he saw that many police cars were present there. When he met Detective Junkins there, he found out that Christine had found the garage owner's body. Arnie said that he didn't know how this happened, but his heart knew that Christine was behind this because she was standing at her place, shining again. On the other hand, when Dennis returned home from the hospital, Lee called him and said that she wanted to meet him. Lee came to Dennis's house and told him that Christine had taken control of Arnie. She told him that Arnie had become crazy about Christine and that he was behaving strangely. Dennis said she was sure that Arnie could do no wrong on his own, but if Christine had taken over his mind, then it was very important to kill Christine. Lee then returned to her house, and shortly later, Arnie arrived at Dennis's place with Christine. He asked Dennis to go for a drive, and Dennis agreed to go. While driving, Arnie once again started behaving very strangely. Suddenly, he started driving very fast, and then he even let go of the steering wheel. Seeing this, Dennis got very nervous and said that Christine was not under his control. "Hold the steering wheel quickly or else we will both die." But Arnie strangely said that no one can come between him and Christine. He has full faith in Christine, and to prove his point, Arnie drives the car at full speed into the other lane. They narrowly escape a collision with an oncoming vehicle. Seeing his friend on the verge of insanity, he decides to take action himself. The next day, Dennis writes a note on Christine's bonnet in which he asks Arnie to meet him in the garage in the evening. That evening, Dennis and Lee are waiting for him in the workshop, but when Arnie doesn't come, they both sit in a bulldozer parked nearby and bring him inside the workshop. They plan that Lee will stay in the office, and as soon as Arnie arrives, she will close the gate and Dennis will take advantage of the situation and demolish Christine with the bulldozer. Soon, as per the plan, Lee started going to the office, but he did not know that Christine was already hiding behind the curtains in the workshop. Then the car turned its headlights towards her and moved forward to crush Lee. Lee somehow saved her life by holding on to a tire hanging in the air, but side of the workshop. While Dennis pulls the bulldozer onto its front side, the two vehicles now come face to face, and it is revealed that Christine is no longer driving alone, but Arnie is helping her. He is now in full control of the vehicle. Suddenly, the vehicle turns its headlights towards them, and within a few seconds completely corrects itself. Unfortunately, the excavator also stops working, and Dennis tries to restart it. Meanwhile, the vehicle rushes towards the office to finish Lee off forever. She ran towards Lee, breaking everything, but the impact of the collision caused Arnie to break the windshield and fall out. Lee ran forward to see what happened to Arnie, but Arnie suddenly jumped up, frightening her, and attacked him and caught him. But unfortunately, a large piece of windshield glass was stuck in his body. Arnie tried to touch his beloved car in his dying moments, but his body could not bear the wounds, and he died in front of Christine. Lee immediately ran away from the scene, but Christine immediately tried to take revenge by putting her in reverse gear and running over her. But luckily, Lee managed to escape in time. The car hit a pillar and got stuck. Dennis took advantage of this opportunity and started moving towards Christine. He hit the car hard, but the car was still trying to escape by facing him. Christine again moved towards Lee, but Dennis crushed her from behind with the claw of the excavator. This attack reduced the strength of the car a little. Lee quickly reached Dennis in the excavator, and together they pushed the claw onto Christine again. They pressed hard and completely crushed Christine until she stopped moving. When they were sure the car was destroyed, they both finally took a deep breath of relief. The next morning, police arrived at the workshop, took Arnie's body, and loaded the crushed remains of Christine onto a truck. Detective Junkins assured Lee and Dennis that now the evil car was gone forever. While loading, the crushed metal of Christine looked completely lifeless. Lee and Dennis watched, silently, both still shaken by everything that had happened. But then suddenly, they heard faint music coming from inside the crushed metal. It was Christine's radio turning on by itself, one last time. The screen fades as Christine's music keeps playing, leaving a question in everyone's mind. Is Christine really gone? Or is she still alive inside the wreck? Turned into junk. Finally, all three left from there. But then we saw that a small piece of Christine started moving on its own, which confirmed that the devil car was still alive. And that is where the story ends. If you liked the video, then please subscribe to our channel.